Oda came back with a banger. I know we had a very tumultuous week. A lot of things have happened. Anime, real life, people getting arrested. Either way, it does not take away from what happened in this chapter. One Piece chapter 1107. Yes, it is one of those. It is one of those 10,000 out of 10 chapters that people like to say. Seriously, again, we overused this phrase that this just changed One Piece forever. Now, I'm probably not going to go that far, but it kind of did. Okay, it didn't change One Piece forever, but it completely changed my perspective on a certain aspect of One Piece when we talk about the end game. If you read the chapter, and I hope you did, you know what I'm talking about. We're not gonna waste any more time. Let's get to it. Cover story, Law, Beppo, and it's gonna be Pedro coming back to life. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's interesting because we had Law in the cover story and Blackbeard kinda sorta, or his proxies in the chapter. Either way, 1107. The Giants are here, but not just Dory and Brogy. We have Kashi, Oimo. They're all reunited, and it feels so good. Now, I'm not completely just a huge fan of the Giants. Like, you know, they're cool. They're fine. They're all right. But I'm not, you know, it's like, all right, cool, Dory, Brogy. I'm more excited about the Giants because of how it relates to Usopp and how excited Usopp was going to be. And we got that reaction. He was basically in tears seeing his masters again. We had a very tangential conversation about Usopp end of series and how strong he's going to be. Quickly, what are your thoughts? How strong will Usopp be end of series? Because I presume that he gets a power up in Elbaf. Either way, that was a tangent. Back to the conversation, back to the chapter. The Giants are here, and the Giants against a Buster Call, it's not going to fare well for the Buster Call because they can fire off pretty strong attacks. They're very strong in that regard. We can't forget Little Garden, Mr. 3 in that regard. Okay, they're strong, but let's temper our expectations. All right, let's do that. It is cool. It feels like weirdly nostalgic, even though they weren't together before from what we've seen. But seeing them together is like, damn, the Giant Warrior Pirates are back together. It feels like something I've always wanted to see, I guess, but didn't know I wanted to see it. After I saw it, I was like, damn, that's some cool shit. So I like that happened. I'm not gonna lie, I like that happened. They're wreaking havoc at this point. I mean, they can't do anything with these Giants. The Vice Admirals, we're not even gonna call them out this time. They already know what they need to do. We already know how we feel about them. But again, Usopp's reaction to seeing the Giants again, just chef's kiss. You know, we know what he feels about Elbaf, what his dreams are directly related to those characters. I mean, I cannot wait for Elbaf, not only because of what I expect in Elbaf, but what it does for Usopp and I presume for his character. His strength aside, his character, I think is going to go through some enormous growth there. And this is just the first step to that. So I really like that. What I really liked about this chapter as well, it gave a quick refresher on the Giants. And like, remember the Giants all the way pre-time skip. What, over 1,000, damn near 1,000 chapters? They had to give the refresher. So I appreciated that a lot. Of course, there are things that I remember, but giving a refresher for a lot of the manga readers that like, yo, I know about Dory and Brogy, but like, can you? That was dope. I really appreciated that. And them giving us just a sense of urgency of everything that's going on. Get us back up to date because we went away for the flashback for a while. A lot's been happening. Hey, guys, that's what the chapter said. Hey, over here, this is what's happening. And we get Jinbei, right? Nami said to Jinbei, hey, Zoro's fighting. Go make sure he's not lost. I was saying, yo, maybe Zoro's already beaten Rob Lucci. Wrong. Rob Lucci. Some people got mad at me when I said, yo, Rob Lucci's strong, yo. I remember that video I uploaded it. I was like, yo, Rob Lucci is decent. Oda's not going to bring him back for no reason. Rob Lucci's trash. He's just a cat. He's just a house cat. He's a feline. He's senile. He's a panther. He's a cheetah. He's decent, bro. He's an awakened Zoan. We don't have that many awakened users in the story. Bro, I'm still trying to figure out if Kaido is awakened. I believe he is. He knew that much, but you know what I mean? Jinbei's going to see what's going on with Zoro. What's taking him so long. I presume Jinbei's going to pull up on Zoro like, bro, what's going on? A cat? Step aside. You know, nah, that's not going to happen. But Jinbei's on his way. The panel was hilarious, though. I'm like, is Jinbei flying? He's hovering. He's using the boost to get around. He's just really big. You know what I'm saying? He's a big fish. So it's just, we can move on. We go to Zoro and Lucci, and it's kind of contradicting because Zoro at this point, no bandana. Right? So no durag. He's not getting power from the Black Forces or the Black Ancestors. He got 2 swords now, so no 3 swords. And I don't see Advanced Conquerors being used. But the dialogue is saying, bro, I'm in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, put the durag on. Get the flame of the underworld. Finish the fight. But then Rob Lucci talking spicy to him. I'm like, you're talking real spicy to the subordinate of the dude you're supposed to be fighting. And he said, yo, only winners get to talk like that, Roa Noah. Your crew's been waiting for you, but you've been stuck here with me for 10 chapters. You sure you're stronger than me or even close? Roa Noa? Lucci even dropping like deep one-liners like, yo, these fools will never make it off because they can't cut the arm off the body. I'm like, bro. Basically saying they're not going to cut the arm off to save the body because they're not built like that. So they're not going to leave without you, but you're not leaving me. So where does that leave them? I'm like, Lucci talking spicy. But think about it. Back then, Lucci, even after Luffy beat his ass, he was kind of like, I don't acknowledge him as a Yonko, G. He ain't no real Yonko. He's just like Buggy for real, with a big black eye. Lucci funny because he's standing on business. Even though it's on his tail, he's standing on business because but I guess he's trying to maintain or uphold the little bit of dignity that he has because he done got beat by Luffy really bad twice. And now he's fighting Luffy's subordinate. Come on, Rob. And I like Rob Lucci. I really do. I'm happy Oda is giving him relevance in the story. And after the Luffy defeat, he's not just out of it. But a lot of people did feel like Zoro was going to overwhelm him. And it's like, Rob Lucci's legit. I know people are talking about stocks. I think Zoro's stocks are fine. I think they should remain the same. I think Lucci's stock should be up because of how much people really underestimated him. I think a lot of people underestimated Lucci. I'm sure people can agree with that. A lot of people underestimated Rob Lucci, and that's what it is. That's what it is. That's it. That's how I look at it. Next, we go back to Kizaru, or at least the Marines. They're getting a damage report, figuring out exactly what's gotten damaged, the ships, the size of ships. They're trying to see, yo, how long can we last with this siege before we're embarrassed? That's what they're trying to figure out because they're like, yo, we got giants? We got a name drop for the Vice Admiral, Red King. I'm like, okay, bro, go do something. I'm like, what are we doing? But he's directing traffic. He's like a crossing guard out there. You know, he's just trying to, yo, small ships here, big ships here. Let's make sure the small ships don't get hit. Big ships only. What are we doing? He does say, yo, it's embarrassing that we got to defeat our own tech, which is embarrassing. You did all this to create the pacifista, abolish the warlords, get all this prepared, and enact the Seraphim, to be destroying the same pacifistas that you put a lot of investment into. Vegabond talked about the cost of a pacifista. It's a lot. And they had to do it because they wanted to move away from these warlords that were, disobedient. But now they got to destroy them because they've turned on them. And that's because of negligence, in my opinion. Stupid ass negligence. So I feel it now because initially when I read it, I was like, oh, this is cool. But I loved on the few rereads Luffy and Bonnie's dialogue, because in Luffy's and Bonnie's dialogue you feel Bonnie's age. Yo, I've been looking for you for a long time. Luffy's like, why? Luffy's telling her, I've been here the whole time. She's like, yeah, but I didn't know you were Nika. Nika? Who's Nika? I'm Monkey D. Luffy. He's like, but anyway, what about that punch though? That joint was kind of weak. She's like, I was trying to do it like you. He's like, okay, let me show you how it's done then. I'm gonna show you how it's done. Watch this. That's what he did. Wind up. Yo, if I hear booming Dawn, I'm running. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm in the story of One Piece, I hear booming Dawn, I'm out of there. Because that joint don't play. Send Saturn flying. Now, Saturn, he's a tank. That boy tanky. That boy thick and tanky. He done taken a lot of shots. He just bounced back up. I mean, we see he can regenerate, but what's the limit? I think that's what makes him strong. Because he does have, attacks and he can kill, but his tankiness and his endurance, his stamina, that's what makes him, I think, strong as heck. Where can you overcome the bulk? Something I've also thought about with Bonnie is what's going on right now must be affecting her because they're blowing up the pacifista. And we know how she cares about her dad. Even the image of her dad, a robot image of her dad, is affecting her. So it's like, imagine her seeing all these pacifista being blown up because they're turning against the world government. It's a lot of emotions on a 12-year-old, right? And so for Nika being there, I'm sure it's a lot of just... Maybe I can relax a little bit because Nika is here, you know what I'm saying? It seems like Vegapunk has given up because he doesn't want to move. He's like, yo, I'm already dead. Leave me. Just go. I already know, like, I'm a doctor. If I move my body, I'm gonna... Bonnie's like, bro, all right, cool. But if you stay here, you're definitely gonna die. So how about we make a move for it? Kizaru pops out of nowhere. Still doing this, right? Still doing this. Still doing the same thing. All right, I'm gonna aim and I'm gonna knock him out, but I'm gonna close my eyes. Bro! What are we doing, Kizaru? But he closed his eyes. He didn't miss. Somebody jumped in the way. That boy, Blackleg! Now, his eyebrow seems to have turned. He activated the exoskeleton. Not sure if he's using Ifrit or Diablo Jambe. There's no indication of that. There is indication that the exo has been turned on. But he said, yo, essentially, he's saying love did it. Love is the reason why he's able to do it. But love is passion, is fuel. It goes back to how he uses his attacks. Ifrit, Diablo Jambe. But it's not an indication of it. There's a little flame or spark in the clash. And I don't want to downplay Sanji's accomplishment. So it's not said, so I'm just going to say Sanji, that's him. That's him. Now, I understand what's going on here. I'm not aloof. I know what it means because Zoro is fighting Lucci, who a lot of people don't rate very highly, and Sanji is clashing with an admiral. But not just that. Lucci's talking big smack to Zoro. Sanji's talking big smack to Kizaru. Big smack. Of course, Kizaru's face after that, he was completely befuddled. Like, huh? And I'm just like, bro, like, there's a lot of people that stop your stuff before. Not like this. Right, Marco just took it. Right, Luffy ate it, really cut it, and Film Red Shanks just decimated it. And now we have Sanji just straight up stopping it. Here's the thing, though: Sanji stopped the laser last chapter from hitting Bonnie. It was subtle, but he stopped the laser from hitting Bonnie. This time, it was a lot more in your face. Sanji's him. For a lot of people that didn't believe it before, I'm telling you right now, Sanji's him, and you gotta acknowledge it. Sorry, you have to. This is not a small feat. This is a big freaking deal, and I'm so proud that this is happening on the Zoro chapter, just because, not for the toxicity, just because we got to take a second for it sometimes. And I know we continuously glaze Zoro. I'm one of them. I love Zoro. But I think today's the day to give Sanji his props, because he freaking earned it. And listen, this is not Sanji's only thing he's done in Egghead. He's been phenomenal in Egghead. To be honest, he's actually been pretty freaking great. And Zoro, you know what I'm saying, struggling with Lucci, that people don't rate highly. I think Lucci's pretty strong, but is that what people think? For reals? I don't know, man. I don't know. Frankie's tripping out because Frankie, you know, he's a scientist. He's a cyborg. He can create shit. He's like, yo, how'd you stop that? That's a freaking laser. And Sanji's like, light doesn't hold a candle to love. He's like, all right, this corny ass. He ain't say that. He's always like, man, if that's true, we gonna have to rethink the physics books and start from scratch, because that's some bullshit. You must be one of the main characters. He didn't say that, but he's like, what's going on? Kizaru again, very somewhat lethargic. One shot, he's like, I'm in a real pickle. Oh my God. And he doesn't have, I guess, the enthusiasm to do this right now. You can tell that he's not enjoying this. He's closing his eyes after aiming. Bro, you might as well not have aimed. I understand the confliction. I understand why he's conflicted. He was one of them. It's tough. Kizaru is so dope, man. He's such a loyal soldier. I'm sure this is one of the few times that his personal feelings has and is affecting his job. I'm sure, man. Now, the twist from the actual chapter is Katarina Devon pulling up on Saturn after he gets sent flying by Luffy. I'm like, okay, what is she doing? First thing she says is, just look at you. What kind of delicious power do you have? Like, she's preying on him. Touches him. Saturn doesn't use the thing to put her down or stop. Touches him. Then he starts to lobby against Blackbeard, saying, Katarina, from level 6. Never looked at you as a subordinate type. She's like, Teach is special. Special. And Saturn, I'm like, okay, are you trying to reveal information? Are you bored? He's like, as is his lineage. What if she didn't know that before? She's like, yeah, he is special. But then Saturn asked them something and said, yo, y'all always up to shit. What do y'all want now, man? And Van Augur says, the world. Now, it's a few things. In this moment, when they were talking about Blackbeard being special and his lineage, of course, I go back to Rocks, I go back to Buccaneer stuff, but one of the few things I went back to as well was Shanks. Shanks tried to tell us about a certain pirate, or the Gorosei at least. With them talking about his lineage, it's almost like Saturn was trying to confirm it. I was wrong. I didn't think Blackbeard could be the pirate because it felt redundant. But if it's new information about his lineage and different things, it's like, yeah, he's more of a threat now. And so I understand that completely, bro. It shifted my view of the Blackbeard pirates. I'm like, bro, we saw the episode this week. Episode was saucy. Van Augur was in Whole Cake Island, bro. He was with Blackbeard, and now he's with Katarina. He's into duos. That's all I can say. He's into duos, and he's doing a hell of a job. Saturn gets mad, right? Because nobody can be asking for the world unless it's us. Unless it's Imudomi asking for the world, nigga. So he tries to stomp Van Augur. He just used the warp fruit, and he's like, he's out of there. And then they're like, all right, we got what we came for. They came to just touch Saturn so Katarina can possibly turn into him. Then what? Oh, this is crazy. Something that they also pointed out is that Van Augur can warp pretty far, but he hasn't mastered it enough to warp off the island. So Oda is telling us, hey, these people are really strong, but they're still working on their devil fruits, which makes sense. So it's implying that Van Augur is fairly new with his fruit. Again, my respect for the Blackbeard pirates has gone through the roof. I think they're meticulous. I think they're eccentric. I think they're thorough. I think they're careful. A lot of two-man teams. Nobody's going dolo. It is smart. It is calculated, and Blackbeard, man, it is going to be insane for his crew because he is building. He's gathering leverage, gathering pieces. So when it's finally time to put all his chips in, he has the upper hand. Seriously, Blackbeard is phenomenal, and his crew, it's only making him better. Teach is special. Now, at the end of it, right, you're thinking, all right, they're about to get up out of there. Supreme Glaze Caribou. Supersonic Van Auger. Maiden Chaser Katarina. I'm here for you. I never thought we'd meet in a place like this. I'm Caribou. I'm a pirate like you. I've been looking for you. I wanted to sail and be a great man like Blackbeard. I always wanted to be a lackey. I always wanted to glaze. Can you take me? The thing with Caribou is that he actually has a lot of leverage because he knows a lot. He doesn't know Luffy's dream, but he knows a lot. And so if you bring up that leverage, or if you use this leverage, you might get an audience. It's no guarantee. However, people are comparing him as he could be Blackbeard's Barto, and he could be what kicks off the Grand Fleet for Blackbeard. I would love that, because who else do you see joining the crew? Who else do you see joining Blackbeard's Grand Fleet? Some people did explore the idea of Kid. I'll wait for a video to do that, but however, do you guys see how this chapter could have possibly changed One Piece forever, or the perception of One Piece? Guys, we have more to get into in regards to the Blackbeard stuff and how it affects the story. Man, it's all hands on deck at this point. All hands on deck. The Seraphim, they got to get fixed. The Vice Admirals, they got to do something. Gear 5, and Sanji's right there waiting for Kizaru. Sanji got the cigarette lit. Luffy's just chilling. Kizaru's not getting out of this. He can't. These guys are too strong, and they're too confident. Big W chapter. I just can't say enough. I just can't say enough. More to talk about. Leave your thoughts below. How do you feel about it? What was your favorite part? Happy about Dorian Broggie. Happy about Katarina and Van Auger. Is Van Auger currently the MVP of the Blackbeard Pirates? I think he could be. I'm so stoked, man, guys. But let me know how you feel about it. Like, subscribe. A podcast episode will be out this week for sure, right? It will be out. Link below if you don't want to miss a podcast. You can join the Patreon as a free member. At least one will be free every month on there. Clips will be on the channel for sure. Every month, one will be free on Patreon if you don't want to miss it. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.